Happy Friday afternoon. Please say hi when you get on. Let me know how you're doing. My name is Nikki. I'm a soul care and mindset coach for moms, founder of the Soul Relaunch, a coaching program for moms who are ready to wake the fuck up. Pretty much. Okay. Or have experienced something lately, or in the last couple of years, just their life has changed and now they think differently and they're like, what the hell is going on with myself? So, I want to talk about something today that if you have not watched Teal Swan's or Hulu's docuseries on Teal Swan, get over there and watch it and then come back, and then you'll understand a little bit more of where my thoughts are coming from. So I'm not going to break everything down in this live or this little conversation we're going to have. I hope that I get some conversation. But I have a couple different purposes of talking about this. One is because Teal Swan is a very famous spiritual teacher, has over, a million followers. We're going to talk about followers, what followers are. Also, we're gonna talk about something to look for in a spiritual teacher or mentor, or to be cautious of when you are searching for a spiritual mentor or teacher or whatever. All right, or you're following someone. Also, what I do is in the same industry as what she does, and so a lot of her techniques or the things that she uses for trauma are things that I've been trained in and certified in, and I'm a practitioner of. And so I really want to talk about I want to talk about things because I know that when people watch this docuseries and they get the picture I did, because I was a huge I was a huge Teal Swan, fan. All right. Let me know if you are. I'm not out of the woods, okay, but I'm a little disappointed. Hi, Lindsay. Lindsay, I don't know if you are familiar with Teal Swan, but I've always loved her work. I've always looked, I watch her YouTube videos whenever she's on like a spiritual podcast or something. I would listen, and she has helped millions of people. And her vision is to end all suffering in the world, which really at the end of the day, if you're a light worker or a spiritual, person, that's really what we're doing, right? Is we're wanting to end suffering for people. We want to help them get out of pain. We want to help people heal. So this is super important if you are someone who is just now kind of entering into the spiritual industry of teaching and mentoring, or if you are new to all of this. Honestly, this could scare people. And that was my first, my journey. It's a 4-part series. So we're going to start with the first. Again, if you have not watched this docuseries, I highly suggest to go watch it and then come back here. Teal also put her thoughts on YouTube for each episode, okay? So, for the first episode, and what it was supposed to be about, supposedly, I guess it was not. It turned out to be something different than what Teal originally had agreed to or whatever, all right? So the first episode was, of course, it was really good. It showcased all of her, how her processes. It was the completion process is her way of, it's her methodology of helping and healing people from trauma. And so it just kind of was supposed to highlight the success stories and everything of that. So the first one wasn't really bad, and she actually, had some good thoughts about it, and she appreciated, what they were highlighting. Well, then we get into the second one, and it starts to really get into more of it's more of Blake, her long time, like a partner in her, they like dated 18 years ago, but now they're best friends for like, well, he got a fiance, and his fiance was coming to live in this community. So apparently they have an inner circle. And where I'm going to go with this is, if you haven't watched this yet, it's going to be really hard to follow me. But at the end of the day, Teal had been accused, okay, of this girl committed suicide, and they were accusing Teal basically because she watched Teal's stuff, and sometimes I guess Teal can come off really blunt or whatever. Well, then so Teal hired a private investigator herself. She paid a private investigator to investigate this, to show people that it's not a cult. That was what the desired outcome was for this private investigator that Teal actually hired to show, hey, we're not a cult here in this inner circle. You need to go watch it. It was so enlightening for me, because I was like, oh my gosh, like this. So, and this is something I fear in the back of my head, showing up and putting myself out there as a spiritual teacher. Okay. I always have this, I'm always in the back of my head of like, you know, when I teach things and I'm telling you, I'm helping my clients and I know all of this stuff, right? And I'm like, I try to make sure that I say, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Or, if you don't believe this, let me know why. Let's have a debate. Like, I try really hard, probably harder than what I should, to make sure that anyone around me knows that I welcome all beliefs. That's one of my core values or whatever, pillars in my business of I embrace, or not embrace, but I hold safe space for people to show up for themselves, to discover what they truly believe, what is true for them. Okay. I also want to say there has never been a more important time in history ever than right now for people to get to know what the fuck their truth is. All right. To find it, align with it, and embody it. Okay. So that's going to be I'm going to say that a lot over the next couple of weeks, because that's of my workshop I'm doing in 2 weeks. It's about discovering your truth. I'm telling you, there is no more important time than right now, with everything going on in the world. And then this happens, or then this docuseries comes out, and Teal says that it's the editing and that Hulu made it out to be made it that way. And maybe they did. However, when you watch it, especially the last episode, and you get to see how she responds about certain things, and there's some gaslighting, there's some narcissism, and she doesn't address any of that. She doesn't say, hey, I acted this way in these episodes. I apologize. I'm taking ownership. She doesn't address it that way. She blames it, which that's how we know it's kind of ego-ish, right? Egotistical. And I'm not judging her at all. I'm just observing. And the important thing I want to make sure it gets across here is that I want to help as many people to heal as well as they can. And then when they see a spiritual teacher like this act this way, act the way that she acted in the last 2 episodes, basically also the non-negotiables. I can't wait till someone comes on here that knows what I'm talking about, because I kind of feel like I know nobody really talks or knows about it yet. Because it just came out on Hulu. I know it was on in December, but she has this contract of non-negotiables for people to be in her inner circle, which are the people closest to her. They have to sign these non-negotiables where basically they can't date, they can't have any kids. All right, they basically can't piss her off, or they can't tell her what they truly believe, and if their beliefs don't align with her truth, then they can't be in the inner circle. Okay, that was my first thing of oh my gosh, what the is going on here? Come on, Teal. That's not what we're doing here. Okay, but what's happened is the fame has gotten to her head. All right, and I mean, I guess I'm judging a little bit, but I know that she is doing it with the best of intentions. Like, she does have this beautiful vision of ending suffering for the world, and absolutely she could continue to do it, but she's not taking any accountability for some things. And so, moving on from that, I want to make sure to between follow and embody. All right, so she has followers. And this is something that I've also been like, I don't want to have followers. Jesus did not want to have followers. Okay? That's not what he wanted. All right, and apparently, it looks like Teal likes having a bunch of followers. I believe when a cult, because that is basically what it came out to be, is a cult, like behavior. And that I hope that she like takes all this information and can kind of start making changes within her organization and can come back in alignment with what she started out to do. Because again, she has the best of intentions. I do believe that. But anyway, follow versus embody. Jesus wanted us to embody. He wants us to embody, right? Same thing with me, with like my coaching clients and then women in the group, like whatever I teach or however I show up or whatever, like embody what is true for you, embody love, be a moving, living, breathing embodiment of light and love and helping everyone around you rise as well, right? To embody that. You are your only leader. You are not we are not followers. We are all our one and only leader. You are your one and only leader. Okay, I'm going to say it again. You are your one and only leader. You are. And then as you learn to lead yourself, then you start to align and you start to resonate with different truths. And again, I'm going to say it again because I said a little bit ago for anybody that like just comes on. It is the most important time in history to discover, align, and embody your truth. There has never been a more important time with everything going on in the world, and then this happened, and this docuseries comes out, and people are going to start looking. I don't want people to start looking at spiritual teachers as bad or cult leaders. Like we're all like that. Like I guess that's why I'm sharing my thoughts about it just a little bit. I'm sure we'll talk more about it later, but like. Just to know that's not what it is to be a spiritual teacher, is not to have followers, okay? And then the second thing, I said why it's crucial to know, align, and embody your truth. So that is what my workshop's going to be about July 2nd and 3rd, is literally to create this path, or like taking these steps to your truth, to your purpose, to what the hell you're here to do, is what's going to happen. Because you know why? Do you want to know why it's so important? Because then when you see you see shows like this, you hear people talking, and even me, maybe you'll watch my lives and I'll share what I believe. And when you're in that place where you're like, you don't really know what you believe, you don't know who you are. So that's the first thing, right? Is like getting clear about who you really are as your identity. Like, parts of your identity are falling away because parts of your life are changing, right? And so it's usually when we start to seek out other like people that do have different, have found their truth, or what, that can kind of lead the way, but hold your hand while you do it your own way. And if you decide to go a different path, actually, I hope that you do start to carve your own path, be a way shower. That's what spirituality is about, is providing people or showing them a different way to exist, or a different way to experience life, away from what they were. Because obviously, if you're in depression and all of these, the smaller self, staying small and not liking ourselves and our self-worth, all of that, like, are those low vibes. Like we don't live our best life from there. So what you want to do and getting and to know your truth, then you'll know what you stand for. You know what you make decisions so much easier, and you don't fall into these situations that can turn out to be a cult, you know, or whatever. Because I know that the term cult is around a lot of the spiritual and religious. I mean, that's what it is. People have formed cults, or they have groups. I mean, Christianity can even be like this sometimes. That if you do not believe the way that they believe, then you are not worthy, you know? And that's not what Jesus was teaching. He was teaching us to embody him. And then the third, about finding a bad, or like knowing a sign about a teacher, a spiritual teacher that you come across. If they come off as they know the way and only they know the way, okay? Or if they are pretty much saying you have to believe this or else you can't be in this club. You have to believe a certain way or you can't be in here. Oh, and you can't piss off the teacher. You better not piss me off or else you can't be in my club. You better protect me because I'm famous. I really hope that you guys watch this and see what I mean, because I love her. I have compassion for her, but she's going to have some work to do after this because she knew she was being filmed, okay? There's no way they can edit a behavior. At least you guys will see it when you watch it. And I just want you to know that that's not okay. And some of her, and hypnosis. I'm going to talk about hypnosis. So I am a hypnosis practitioner. I was trained. I've been studying it for like 1.5 years, almost 2 years. Anyone close to me knows how long I've been studying it. Hypnosis, as with anything, can be used for bad. Or it can be used for good, right? So everything can be used for bad or good. NLP is another manipulation tactic type thing, or practice or modality that can be used negative or for positive, okay? What I saw in this docuseries is that hypnosis, I didn't see it being used very well, and I don't agree with it. I think it's dangerous. When we're working with the subconscious mind, and let me tell you real quick what she was doing. Okay, so what she's doing is she has a person from her team who's been trained, I'm sure, in her processes, act out, like tap into another person's energy. So let's say there was a lady there at her workshop, and she wanted to, the worker had to tap into this lady's like mom's energy, okay, psychically, and then start acting like the mom. And then the lady at the workshop, you know, the person that was pretending like the mom was like yelling at her and being mean to her and like acting like her mom would have acted, but they don't know for sure that that's how, like, they did, like, it was weird. I'm sorry, but it was really weird. Like, if you guys watch it, please do. Sil, is that you? Oh my gosh, you have to watch it. It's on Hulu, okay? Definitely you need to watch it. All of you do, but so anyway, with hypnosis, what that was doing is that, and what they can do is we go back into your subconscious mind, and we can, and hypno practitioners can, if this is what and this looks like what Teal's doing, I don't know, but they embed certain memories. And our mind believes whatever you tell it, okay? Or whatever memory comes up. Our mind doesn't know that that's not real. If that was embedded there, and then later on so basically all these people that go to her workshops, she tells them that their trauma and hurt and pain came from their parents because she had shitty parents or whatever. So that's pretty much, I know not everyone is like that, but that's what the docuseries was kind of. That was the big thing that it kept on showing, was how she would blame someone's parents for how they were. Like, she did it with a lot of different, and I'm like, is this like her MO? Everybody has bad parents? And then she gets them in that hypnotic state, or they do, you know, in the trance when they're meditating and stuff. You guys, that's in a trance, and that's when we can do amazing magical work with our subconscious mind. But some people aren't doing it that way. So I want you to be careful, okay, with that whole spiel. I just want you to be careful that if you do get hypnosis from somebody, I don't know, talk to other people or see if they have any like testimonials, or meet with them first. Of course you'll meet, like with me, I always meet with everybody, right? And to see if they're even like a qualify for hypnosis, or if they need it. You know, sometimes we don't even go into hypnosis in a session. And I'm fairly new at it. I've only been certified for like 7 months, I think, about almost 7 months. I'm still kind of in the early stages, and so I'm still developing my craft. However, I never lead anybody to believe something or implant different memories. And I kind of feel like that's what's going on there. So that was another thing that really bothered me. And then I think that was all I want to talk about in this video. But there's more. And again, I'm not judging her. I'm not doing any of that because I know she's coming from a very good place. However, I don't want you to get the wrong, like, don't tie this, what you see in that docuseries, that all of the spiritual teachers are that way. That's not, it's just not. If you have been following her and now you feel tricked or you feel disappointed, I mean, let me know. Let us know. Like, talk about that. Don't cut off from the spiritual industry because of something like this, okay? Because that's all I saw when I'm watching her. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this can really be a big thing. So again, it's never been a better time in history to tell you to know what you believe. There we go. Know what you believe. Feel good about it. Tune into your intuition. Stand up for what you believe in. If something doesn't feel right, say it, you know, like, don't hold back. And so that's what the workshop on the 2nd and 3rd is really, that's another big perk of it, is it's going to help you get clear about what it is you believe and then what it is you really want, right? And then once you know all of that, your purpose just kind of flourishes from that, you know? Let me know if you agree, whoever's on here, as far as like, Syl, Tammy, Shara, Lindsay, like all of you are you guys are all on the path here with me. And so it's like, once you know certain things, right? So we'll start in your childhood, right? And then we go into your, what's the next one? Oh, childhood, and then your personality, okay? And we're going to use the Vedic system for that, your passions, your talents, your life path, and then we're going to end with belief. And so that's July 2nd and 3rd. I'll leave the link, or you can sign up for my email list. You're going to be notified of everything. I'm actually sending out a PDF workbook beforehand, so you can have a head start from everybody else. It's going to be live at Awakened Meadows, and it's going to be virtual in the group. So either in the group or live, whichever. But yes, so that is what I wanted to share with you today. It's about embodying your truth instead of following somebody, okay? That's really the main thing I wanted to get across. And that it's time to figure out what it is you believe. All right? So, okay, guys, have a good weekend. I'm going to be on tomorrow. I'm going to go live every single day up until the workshop just to talk to you guys, answer any questions, let you know what's happening, and I will see you guys later.